The world is full of unsolved mysteries that not even scientists can understand. Join us as we explore mysterious places that scientists cannot yet explain. The Wave Rock. The ocean isn't the only place in Australia you can catch a wave. A stunning wave that never breaks and is completely frozen in time lies just 3 kilometers east of the sleepy town of Hayden in Australia's Gold Belt. Over the years, the Wave Rock has played an important role in the lives of Aboriginal Australians. It is 2.63 million years old, long before dinosaurs roamed Earth, and forms the northern side of Hayden Rock, a massive inselberg. Eternal Flame Waterfalls. Eternal Flame Falls is a 35-foot waterfall with a grotto that houses a small flickering light about 8 inches tall, lit thousands of years ago by Native Americans. For a long time, it was believed that the fire burned due to pockets of gas rising from the ancient, very hot shale bedrock. However, scientists discovered that the shale beneath the waterfall is neither hot enough nor old enough to generate gas pockets. This flame and these leaks have been happening in those places for millions of years, and they know that the source rock that is about 400 meters down is not particularly warm, and it shouldn't even be producing much gas, but it is, and it's not happening. Exhausting, so their idea is that the continued creation of gas at depth is due to a separate mechanism. In other words, something else must keep the eternal flame burning, but researchers still don't know what it is. Nasla Rock Formation. The Nasla Rock Formation towers above its surroundings with petroglyphs dating back thousands of years, and signs of human occupants dating back to the Bronze Age. Its most notable feature, however, is that it is divided in half, with each piece of the block resting on a thin, small pedestal. Although many people question whether nature could have generated such a feature, 3 important geological factors are responsible for one of the most impressive rock formations in the world. Another fractured joint parallel to the main fissure can be found at the back of Nasla, which could be a clue. Erosion of sandstone and limestone leads to spectacular features throughout the Arabian Peninsula. Earthquakes and fault lines could have played a role in the formation of the Nasla fissure. Although its fate is inevitable, Nasla remains a geological wonder. The Hill of Crosses is a pilgrimage site in northern Lithuania. The exact history of the practice of leaving crosses on the hill is unknown, but it is believed that the first crosses were placed after a revolt in 1831. Over the centuries, Catholic visitors have carried not only crosses and crucifixes, but also statues of the Virgin Mary, carvings of Lithuanian patriots, and thousands of miniature effigies and rosaries. The precise number of crosses is unknown, although estimates place it between 50 and 5,000 in 1992. The Hill of Crosses is a popular pilgrimage site in Lithuania and has come to represent the peaceful persistence of the Lithuanian people despite the dangers that suffered throughout history. Lithuania became part of the Russian Empire following the Third Partition of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in 1795. In 1831 and 1863, Poles and Lithuanians attempted, but failed, to overthrow the Russian rulers. These 2 revolts are linked to the origins of the hill, when families were unable to identify the bodies of fallen rebels and began erecting symbolic crosses on the site of an ancient fort on the hill. Following the fall of the Soviet Union in 1990, the making of Lithuanian crosses became extremely popular, and the hill was erected as a tribute to the Lithuanian people's commitment to keeping their religious and national identities alive during those difficult times. As a result, the number of crosses increased in the years following the Soviet era, and the Lithuanian public, free from religious oppression, was able to practice their religious beliefs without fear of persecution. The Stairs of Death. The Huayna Picchu hike in Peru can be difficult and scary at times, but it is undoubtedly one of the best things to do in Machu Picchu, the legendary lost city of the Incas. Don't be alarmed by the name. Despite being called the death stairs of Machu Picchu due to its steepness and narrowness, there have been very few accidents and deaths here over the years, and it is quite safe as long as you don't get careless. Huayna Picchu has a height of 2,693 meters, and only narrow stairs lead to the top. The impressive view from the top is the main reason why people climb Huayna Picchu. There is no better place to see the Inca ruins of Machu Picchu than from this point of view. Climbing Huayna Picchu takes around 2 hours. The mysterious churches of Lalibela, Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, there is a city called Lalibela, which at first glance might not seem very interesting, except for its churches. However, these churches are not only interesting, they baffle even modern scientists. The reason? They were carved from stone and volcanic rock, and each of the 3 churches is unique and inimitable, distinguished by its style. Some of these structures are situated in pits and surrounded by rocks, while others are carved directly into the cliffs. According to scientists' calculations, they were rebuilt in the 12th and 13th centuries AD, and it only took 25 years to build them from scratch. This begs the question, how were the ancient inhabitants of Ethiopia, who were not known for their advanced knowledge and skills, able to create such skillful and incredible churches with primitive tools in such a short time? Researchers still do not fully understand this riddle, but locals have their own answer: the help of divine forces. According to local legend, both ordinary workers and angels descended to earth to participate in the creation of these churches. The collaboration between humans and celestial beings gave rise to architectural monuments that remain a mystery today. In Africa, there are more mysterious buildings than most people know about, and the churches of Lalibela are a unique architectural treasure on the continent. Medieval Dolphin Tomb. Archaeologists were finishing an excavation at Chapel d'Amhou in the English Channel when they made an unexpected and puzzling discovery. Archaeologists reasonably assumed that a carefully cut grave plot would contain the remains of a deceased human being. Instead, they discovered the bones of a dolphin in the grave. The discovery was made at the site of a medieval religious retreat that was once inhabited by monks seeking solitude. Experts believe the bones date back to the 14th century and the remains appear to have been intentionally buried rather than simply buried underground. Experts aren't sure how to interpret this strange discovery. People ate dolphins during the medieval period, but it seems unlikely that the animal would have received such a thorough burial if it had only served as food. The body may have been buried in a hole and covered with salt to preserve it, but it was never found. The dolphin may have had religious importance to the island's monks. The remains of the dolphin have been removed from the area and will be examined by a marine expert. However, how and why the animal arrived on the island may remain a mystery for many years. The Maidens Tower in Azerbaijan. The people of the Middle Ages had built exciting structures in the capital Baku. The so-called Maidens Tower is located in the old town of the metropolis, dates back to the 12th century and, together with the 15th century palace. The Maidens Tower forms a complex of historical monuments that was included in the list of historical monuments of UNESCO World Heritage in 2001. Inside the tower, there is, among other things, a museum that tells the exciting history of the Azeri capital, Baku. The Maiden Tower is one of the most characteristic national buildings of Azerbaijan and is surrounded by a multitude of legends and myths deeply rooted in the country's history. Based on these legends, the Azeri artist created a Baku Maidens Tower ballet in 1940, which has remained popular in the modern era and is one of Azerbaijan's best-known cultural exports. The Giants Causeway. The Giants Causeway, unlike most beaches in Northern Ireland, consists of approximately 40,000 interlocking hexagonal columns. They rise vertically like steps and were formed 65 million years ago, reaching heights of about 11 meters. According to legend, they were once part of a causeway created by a warrior named Finn MacCool and a Scottish giant so they could fight each other. However, the reality is that they were created thanks to the cooling of volcanic lava and the fracturing of basalt columns. Moroi Rocks. The Moroi Rocks, on the Otago coast in New Zealand, are a unique beach phenomenon. They appear singly or in groups, and each rock weighs several tons and measures up to 2 meters high. They formed about 65 million years ago due to the hardening of Paleocene mudstone, and over time, ocean waves gradually eroded the softer stone to reveal the spherical formation beneath. If you are interested in visiting them, hurry up. After all, in just 20,000 years erosion will wear them down to practically nothing.